Hello guys, Listers here. Here we have a battle against TGWIS, or the guy who's sitting. This is my first narrated battle. So I lead off with a Yuxi, and he was expecting me to use my usual Scarf lead, hence why I crunched with this DD Crodant. But yeah, this is my special Imprison set. So yeah, I get my rocks up and you turn out into fortress. I was really thinking of using payback here, but I decided just to go with the safe earthquake, and of course he switches in a levitator, which is the awesome Yuxi. I was sort of curious of what set he had, but turns out he has the regular bulky set with knockoff and stealth rock as well as thunderbolt and psychic, and it turns out this would screw my team over rather badly, removing pretty much all my items. Oh well. So I send in Tangrowth, expecting the T-Bolt pretty much, and thinking, well, I can probably hurt this if it weren't for the miss. And Tangrowth, you have failed me for the first time, because I usually always hit with my power whips, but oh well. So at least I hit with my second one because of the drop Missy or not having my life orb, it doesn't really do much. So it would have lived another one. So I go back into Fortress, thinking, oh well, at least payback will hurt it. But yeah, he switches it out, expecting the obvious, I guess. And then he goes into a Breloom, and this isn't actually the gay sub toxic orb usual set, it's a choice banded one. So me using Toxic Spike actually helped his Breloom out, otherwise, well, I suppose I could have somewhat stalled it out eventually. Yeah, then it goes into Pachirisu, and I was like, a Pachirisu? Really? And he's like, yeah, this thing's actually awesome. And then I'm like, oh no, you have like a gay Thunder Wave Super Fang set, don't you? And well, he does. And it sort of rapes my Giraffe Rig badly, cause para hacks all over. And then it swaggers me as well, which doesn't really help. And then when I finally get a Psychic off, of course he goes into Yuxi. Or is Yuxi again, rather. So yeah, he knocks off my leftovers again. Damn you. And then proceeds to pretty much kill my Giraffe Rig, but at least I get a Shadow Bolt off. But if I didn't get confused last turn, that would have killed. But oh well. So he kills off Giraffe Rig, and then I go back into Yuxi, going with the obvious U-turn, I guess. And well, because I don't really have any other attacking moves. And then I go into my own Porygon too, after he switches in his. So now we both have Levitate. The reason he switched in P2 there is because he thought he would get Levitate before he got poisoned, but yeah, that was not the case. So here comes a big stall war between my P2 and his P2, because he tries to paralyze me with Discharge, with no luck so far. So I just keep Ice Beaming for the most possible damage, because mine also runs Discharge. So. But yeah, paralyzing a poison foe isn't going to happen. So he goes back into Pachirisu, thinking, well, at least this will, or to reset his poison or toxic meter. So I go into Fortress expecting T-Wave, but he predicts that and uses Super Fang. And then he goes for a T-Bolt to kill off my Fortress, but it's especially bulky, so it lives. Not that it matters much, but oh well. Then he sends out Annie, the Infernape. So I'm not sure how Jimmy would feel about this thing, because he hates Infernape, but he loves Annie. So well. So I go for the obvious protect, the Toxic stall him a bit more. And then I go for a... Well, I go for a switch actually, for fodder, but he switched out into his Breloom. Now, he was afraid that I carried Sen Headbutt for some reason, even though he's seen all my 4 moves, but I suppose he forgot that I ran Sen a day or something, or he didn't know I had Imprison. Uh, so yeah, I U-turn out because it was the only thing I could do to hurt him at all. Um, and he goes back into his P2. Uh, I'm not sure why I protected. I think I was scared of discharge, but it would make no sense because recover would be the obvious choice. Um, and then I switch back into P2 because I have nothing else that can really hurt the P2 as I have a toxic stalling Vaporeon for some reason on a toxic spike team, which was sort of not planned for, but oh well, sort of fucked me over here because I can't hurt the P2. So yeah, more P2 stall wars. Um, and now Toxic is starting to do a lot on him, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna predict now and go for Hidden Power Ground. But I fail at saving and I forgot to nerf the IVs on my P2, so I have Hidden Power Dark. And that actually cost me my P2, because well, I didn't think he ran Mix Ape. And if not for Dark, I would have had Ground on my Hidden Power and I would have killed Infernape. And the P2 would have been helpful later, to say the least. So in comes his Breloom to Spore my Vaporeon. But yeah, he has to switch out afterwards because he's choice banded, as I mentioned before. So he goes back into P2, and I switched to Yuxi on the same turn to try give him Levitate, but he switched first, and yeah, that made him get Water Absorb, which pretty much meant, well, I was fucked now, because I only have Vaporeon left, and I have Surf, Toxic, Protect, and Wish. So I pretty much decided, well, let's just die, pretty much. Well, to a degree. And he wanted to try out how much his Choice Banded Focus Punch would do to me. So I decided, well, let's get full HP and then, well, it's time to get one hit KO'd. Oh my god, spoilers. Yeah, and, good game TGWIS. It was fun, even though you sort of raped me with your P2 and your, well, paralyzed stalling stuff. So, yeah, there's guys.